a glance, a chance meeting, a loss. I found out this lesson very early in my life. One day, whether you are 14, 28, or 65, you will stumble upon someone who will start a fire in you that cannot die. However, the saddest and most awful truth you will ever come to find in life is they are not always with whom we spend the rest of our lives. Oh, there may be others that are comfortable, but there was that one that lit the fire in you that has never gone away. Good morning. It's good to see you this morning. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I have a very exciting week that I want to tell you about, and it's such a coincidence because a year ago today, I had a radio frequency ablation. And I'd had one 20 years before, but the radio frequency ablation was to ablate impulse nerves in my heart that I was born with. And they grew back after 20 years. So I was experiencing palpitations, a little AFib, and atrial fibrillation is when your heart kind of like goes out of sync and it's not beating in a sinus rhythm. So I went online and I was looking to see if I could find any information about anyone who had had that procedure recently. Well, lo and behold, I found Mary Ellen 60. So that is how I started to really get interested in this mature women community. I felt that I had so much in common with her after listening to her video. Well, 6 degrees of separation all over again. I watched Mary Ellen's video the other day, and on Tuesday last week, she went into the hospital to have another ablation procedure where she lives. And would you believe, on Thursday, I was doing the same thing here in Miami Beach. Sometimes the ablation procedure has to be repeated because even though they think they got all of the electrical impulse places that are making your heart fire and go into AFib or tachycardia, sometimes they don't get it. Well, I guess in Mary Ellen's case, the first one, they didn't get everything. And in my case, the same thing happened. So I just find it very interesting in a 6 degrees of separation kind of idea that she and I were both in the hospital last week. For me, it was just overnight, and I was only in the operating room for about 3 hours. I think hers was quite longer, 7 hours, I believe. But I have to tell you a very interesting story revolving around my operating room experience. My doctor talked to me when I first went in and before they, put the catheter in my arm to give me a sedative. And we just talked about life. And I really like him a lot. And he's a big fan of my son, who is the lead singer of Tonic. So that's always nice. But when they were ready to roll me into the operating room, he was there waiting for me. And before they started administering the anesthesia, he said, come over here. I want you to meet somebody. So this handsome young doctor came over, and he must have been maybe in his late 20s or maybe early 30s. I'm not too sure. But he said, I want you to meet the mother of the lead singer of Tonic. And he was just so excited. And he says, oh, I have loved Tonic forever. I play a guitar, and I'm a musician too. So my doctor said, come on, sing for her. Show her what you can sing. Then he looked at me. He said, he must have only been about 12 years old when your son's first album came out. So as they started, I guess maybe right before they started to administer the anesthesia to me, this young doctor started singing, If You Could Only See the Way She Loves Me. Now, it just so happens that my son wrote that song for me, and I'm sure that this doctor didn't have a clue because very few people know that. And it happens to be the song that was the most played song on rock radio that year, and he won the Billboard Award and a lot of other awards for that particular album, and especially that song. So as I was going under, I was serenaded by a song that my son had written for me, and let me tell you, it was the best gift my surgeon could have ever given me, because it was a wonderful way to go under listening to the words written by my son and sung by this doctor who really had a very, very beautiful voice. So I had an interesting experience in the operating room, and I am hoping now that it's been a week that I am still kind of in the inflamed part of my surgery, but I feel terrific. I'm hoping that they got everything, and I've already kind of gone back to my regular life. I'm walking the dog, and I'm taking it easy. I'm not supposed to lift things for a couple of weeks, but that's okay with me. Let somebody else do it. But otherwise, I think I'm healthy, knock on wood. So I'm hoping that this will resolve my issue, and then I can get on with my life without any more palpitations or AFib. And on another note, my daughter was watching my video while I was in the hospital. She came down from Chicago to be with me and my husband. And she watched my video about my lipstick heaven. She was so moved that when she went home, she called me the other day. She said, "Mother, I'm sending you a package. I picked out some beautiful lipsticks that I think you're going to like, and I'm sending them to you." So when I get that package, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to look at the lipsticks, and then we'll try them on together to see what my daughter has picked out and chosen for me. Well, that is my video for today. It's not very long, but in the opening, I just want you to refer to you to think about how many things in our lives are spontaneous, that just happen, and some of them really, really affect us and make an impression upon us. Some people that we meet that we will never forget, or some spark that happens between two humans that maybe is not meant to be forever, but it's just a very sweet spot in our lives that will carry for a long, long time. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me again, and I hope to see you very soon. I have a plated video coming up about my dinner that I made before I went in the hospital. Hope to see you soon. Take care until the next time.